Peace to you. May God save Serbia and Syria. um, made a video about I'm going to be unsubscribing to HeyRuka and Australia neocons. And it was late at night. It was extremely early in the morning. It was like 3:30 in the morning, I think, when I made the video. She wound up talking to somebody who had voted thumbs up on HeyRuka's comment. He's like, well, it's just the vagueness of it, or this, and I said I didn't point anything out specifically. And I even asked him, I said, if I were to call HeyRuka a racialist instead of a racist, I mean, I don't have the instant. As people know, I'm Syrian, Argentinian, Colombian, and Irish. I live around basically a race war, and I've made videos about this. There's a big Mexican population. They don't allow blacks in their neighborhood, and black people don't allow the Mexicans in their neighborhood. I had to combat people like Gallo Biota and all these, I guess as Ramsey Paul would say, cultural Marxists, who think all this stuff doesn't exist when it does, when I actually have to live through it, and I've lived through it most of my life. In regards to HeyRuka, I said she was a racist. People could, again, and it's not like I'm dumbfounded why people would put negative connotation on that, but the fact that it would get such a visceral charge against it. And I made another video to her saying for HeyRuka, and it's funny because I had been a subscriber for a long time. I actually thanked her for introducing me to Ramsey Paul. Ramsey Paul, some of the things that he says are racist. That's fine. He says things that are true. If they're racist, who cares? And then I got an explanation from this person that I was talking to, who is a subscriber of mine, who said, no, look, they get entrenched with the Marxists and the communists, and they wind up, becoming them. You stare into the abyss, and you become the abyss. That she's going to see it as just a fight. I mentioned a few things, eugenics, Dawkins, things like this, and I said, this leads to a very bad place, I said, and I actually said at the end, like, NAZI, like, that's, it's very strange, and, and whether what people want to tweak with the idea of eugenics, I mean, it started out as, do I really need to go through Francis Galton, the 1880s, social Darwinism, and the fact that America, the southern states, had a more aggressive policy of eugenics than Nazi Germany did? I was sick and tired of seeing, people being beaten to death for their race, or these things come up, and then Dawkins. I know she's an anti-theist. I think she's pulled back on that a little bit, and is kind of like the Anders Breivik type person, who he himself disavows Christianity, but believes it's part of white European Christian heritage, so that, it's part of their culture, so this is, we're going to keep this around. But again, constantly seeing and this is from Australian neocons and HeyRuka, the Sam Harris moral objectivity, from HeyRuka, the Dawkins stuff that always gets voted up. This is the reason why I don't watch Fox News. It's just like a crime report. Do I really need to hear every time, a white person gets their teeth bashed in by a black person, how that's not a hate crime by Eric Holder? The person even said to me, he said, "Look, you're Latino, right?" Well, he didn't say right. He said, "You're Latino." He said, "Let's say you get in a fight with Pablo. If you're the aggressor, they're going to label you white and Pablo as Latino. If Pablo attacks you, he becomes white and you become Latino in the eyes. That's how it works." Now, whether that's true or not, I mean, that wouldn't be so shocking. I don't know, nor do I care, but I think it's funny that this generated a lot of things. It's when she called me a supremacist that I deleted the comments. And I have all the comments here, which I think are kind of amusing. Alright. We have the first comment: "I am still open to discussion thread with Gambler or justification orthodoxy in the sense of true teaching, which institution orthodox view. I think it's very interesting indeed. Sadly, we haven't gone very far yet. I think some discussion how it indeed justified differently compared to, say, the Roman Catholicism is very interesting." I mentioned back, I said, "Message me anytime. I'm also on Skype. I do a roundtable with Gambler." HeyRuka comment was, "Since you rudely deleted my first comment," well, since you rudely never responded to me over like the last year of all the messages that I sent you, and that there was like 4 videos concerning you, and you conveniently choose to pick this one where it's late at night, it's vague, and I'm just saying I'm unsubscribed. I did resubscribe to Australian Neocons because he put a message. He said, "Hey, I'm sorry to lose a sub, but lose a sub, but it's your own choice, this and that." And, yeah, you know what? This is a rational person. You know what? I'm gonna go back. I resubscribed to him, and I said, I'll give it a week, and just because it's like 15 videos that go up. If you're subscribed to so many people, the only ones I'm seeing are HeyRuka and Australian Neocon, and then the Patriot thing or whatever. And I've even asked her about the Holocaust, because there's certain videos I make on the Holocaust, which she might agree with, but there's been silence or whatever. But all of a sudden this stirs up this. "Since you so rudely deleted my first comment, I'll repeat. I think I've mentioned eugenics and or Dawkins maybe twice." I'm not talking about the videos that you mention him. I'm talking about all the things that get voted up. You have a lot of Dawkins videos where there's likes and this and that, and this constantly, when you log into YouTube, pushes down the other stuff from people like, Cardinal Virtues or Skeptical Heretic that I like to view their stuff, or even other Orthodox people. That makes me a racist? No. No, non sequitur. No. You support nationalism. You must be a supremacist. Again, who is the one unbalanced here? I specifically even define the type of what I mean when I say nationalism. I believe all peoples have the right to self-determination. And I even do it in the video. I say I believe the Palestinians have the right to self-determination. The Irish, I'm for the Irish Republicans for regaining their land. I believe the Kurds should have their own land. I believe all people should live according to their own culture within their own borders. I'm against colonialism or imperialism. How is that a supremacist view? And then she goes, I got 4 thumbs up in 10 minutes. You know it existed. Don't attack me and then dodge my response. You're being a coward. No, I was suspect because within like 20 minutes of the video being up, there were 5 thumbs up. And I've already experienced that with Can't 1066, Can't 1067. There's a lot of these people that have these SOP accounts that vote up their own stuff. So I'm just like, somebody leaves a comment, and then I click and I see it's got 2 thumbs up, and then I basically just refresh the page and it's 5. And there's only something like 16 views on the thing. So nobody left any other comment or reacted, but it just thumbed up on that comment. I found that very suspect. I realize you have like I guess your big cult following, so whatever. I put, hey Ruka, why is this the first time I'm getting any response from you? What about the videos and PMs I sent you? But that was the most recent one. I actually put, how am I a racist? How am I a supremacist? She wrote back, exactly. And this was the one thing I said. This is the one I posted last night. This is 10 hours ago. I said, I thought you are a racist. So you're not? If you're saying you're not, I'll take your word for it. But it's just a question. Why can't you be a racist? I don't think just being a racist is bad. Or do you think just being a racist is bad? I know plenty of racists. It doesn't mean they go out killing people. I am sub to Ramsey Paul, and it's because of you. So thank you for that. But I think at least in some of his videos he's a racist. Yet I still love his channel and defend him. Why so offended by this video? And then I get other people define racism, and then I responded to Lord Zai. I said, that's what I was hoping to talk to HeyRuka about. I don't see what in the video incurred her wrath. I actually explained the answer to your question in my latest video, which now is not going to be currently the latest video because this will be the latest video. And I get things like this. The only reason I unsubbed to HeyRuka is because she doesn't seem to put any videos on anymore. HeyRuka, you're awesome. What are you thinking these days? Whatever. And then I get, oh, this snide thing. Leave him alone. He's just a white man that can't get laid. Well, according to the United States, I am not white. Because when you have to fill out a form, it says white, non-Hispanic, and it says European, Middle Eastern, North African. Except I'm Hispanic. So yes, the Syrian and the Irish, white. Quote unquote white. I mean, and I subscribe to the Aryan theory of from Ireland to India. It's the Aryans. It's not the skin color that we're talking about exactly. Can't get laid. I love these little jabs where they have nothing of substance to say. Somebody actually said, people don't hate Yusuf. I watched his videos and he is a rational person. I don't get why he labeled HeyRuka a racist. This was a mistake. Now my question to HeyRuka or any of these supporters is, if I were to call you a racialist, this is why I don't try to get stuck in these circular arguments. Again, I don't argue with fundamentalists are crazy people, and not to say that HeyRuka is either of those. But you get caught in this trap where you see enemies everywhere. And I was actually shocked at, because I figured I'll make this video in the morning, I'll see what it said. With it, anytime I meant, and everybody knows this, anytime I mention anybody's name in a video, I send it to them. Even if I mention them in passing, I send them the video. But within maybe 3 minutes of making this video and sending it to her, there was her message and all these thumbs up. I'll leave it at that for the explanation of the video. I'll probably make a part 2. But HeyRuka, I'd love to talk to you. Peace to you. Take it easy. They don't allow blacks in their neighborhood. The black people don't allow the Mexicans in their neighborhood. I had to combat people like Gallo Biota and all these, I guess as Ramsey Paul would say, cultural Marxists, who think all this stuff doesn't exist. Australian neocons. And it was late at night. It actually was extremely early in the morning. It was like 3:30 in the morning, I think, when I made the video. Actually wound up talking to somebody who had voted thumbs up on HeyRuka's comment. He's like, well, it's just the vagueness of it, or this. And I said, I didn't point anything out specifically. And I even asked him, I said, if I were to call HeyRuka a racialist instead of a racist, I mean, I don't have the instant. As people know, I'm Syrian, Argentinian, Colombian, and Irish. I live around basically a race war and I've made videos about this. There's a big Mexican population. Peace to you. May God save Serbia and Syria. Made a video about I'm going to be unsubscribing to HeyRuka and